Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be watching in the world, whenever you happen to be watching. I am Cassandra Terry, and it is Tuesday morning, our Transformation Tuesday. And you'll notice from the title this morning, Transformation Tuesday, choice by choice, step by step, because that's how transformation, true transformation, lasting transformation happens. We sometimes have those big wins where things just, we have an overnight windfall, but the true transformation that we can contribute to and make sure that sticks is choice by choice, step by step. We are going through each day with intention and making and a clear. We have to be intentional and we have to be clear about where it is we're trying to go. Where am I right now? What's my starting point? And where am I trying to go? Once I've got those two things really, really, really clear, then I can make choices and take the steps necessary to get me from where I am to where I want to go. And that's all transformation is change. And when I was thinking about change last night and first thing this morning, I was thinking about how whether we're tuned into it and participating in it, it's happening anyway. I've mentioned all week because I love my birthday. I will be 55 in April. Things have changed. What I can eat changed. How it affects me changed. How quickly I can get up out of bed and get my day started changed. The color of my hair changed. The roundness of my face has changed. There's a lot of things. The environment that I live in, even though I haven't moved, it has changed tremendously. They're putting up apartments and stores and things everywhere. Where I live used to be a little sleepy town just on the outskirts of Austin, where we would go into the city for for events and things like that. And there was a little one lane road that led to where I live. It doesn't look like that anymore. There's so much development and so much change that has happened. I can be upset about the change. I can deny the change, or I can do what's best for me and participate in that transformation. Because I know it takes me a little bit longer to get going, I can plan for that. I get up a little bit earlier. I give myself a little bit more time to really wake up and get the juices flowing before I sit down and start to talk to you guys. I actually, before I get out of bed, I just lay there and allow the thoughts to come with to me. I say what I'm grateful for before I get going too long in my day. I set my intention and I just let the thoughts come. And then when I feel like I've had that download that I'm looking for, I get up and I start to move around. I don't jump up anymore because if I jump up, I may have to lay right back down because I'm just not as young as I used to be. Things have changed. There has been a transformation. I can fight that change. I can be upset about that change. I can pretend like that change didn't happen, or I can participate in that change. I can realize that with each year, month, week, day, I've become smarter than I was before. I've picked up some things that I didn't know before. So if I know that I'm not just getting older, but I'm getting wiser, I'm not just graying, but I'm maturing. If I just control first how I think about the change, then that allows me to participate in it differently. If I control my actions with the change, I can pretend like I can do the things that I used to. It took my brain a little bit to catch up with my body. I still could do some of what I used to do. And guess what? I've injured myself. I used to be a cheerleader. So flips and splits and jumping around and high energy, I can still do some of those things. Not the same way I did them before. Have to be way more careful. I'll never forget. I was out one day. It was a holiday, and all the family was over, and we're just an athletic family. We like to get out and do stuff and challenge each other. We're pretty competitive, and we were all outside racing. And my high school coach, Coach Lancaster, saw me, and he commented on the video saying, it was good to still see me active and out and about, but he was like, maybe you want to do more, instead of sprinting. Maybe you want to, be more careful because I'd hate to see you injure yourself. He was coming from a place of love because he was my coach way back when, you know, 30 plus years ago, or yeah, plus years ago when I was still in high school. He made me run. Now that all those years have passed, he's like, it's still good that you're running. It's great that you're active, but maybe you want to just instead of getting up and sprinting, you want to do something that's, do a slow jog, build up to some things, do what your body needs so that you don't injure yourself. So still coaching all these years later to make sure that I'm okay. And that's what I'm saying about participating in the transformation, not trying to pretend like it's not happening, not ignoring it, not being upset by it, but taking the gifts from it, realizing that there's some transformation that's going to happen whether you tune into it or not, and making the best out of the where you are in life right now. Start with right now. And although there's something that you want over here, right now is where we are. What's the gifts in right now? What are you grateful for right now? What do you know now that you didn't know back then? Find the pleasure, the joy, the happiness, the gift in now so that you're already coming from a better place. If you're struggling, if you're upset with now, if you just want things to change so quickly, you're not really in a mindset to make that change because you're frustrated, you're tired, you're angry, whatever the case may be, you're overwhelmed. So try and get settled. Try to make peace with now and figure out what the gift is in where you are right now, and then get real clear about where you want to go. And you've got those things settled. So now we're just down to choices and steps all over again. What choices do you need to make day in, day out, throughout each day to get you from this now that you've made peace with to where it is you're trying to go? What steps do you need to take? Those are your goals. Day in, day out, week in, week out. What do you need to be doing to get yourself to that end goal? And you keep that end goal in mind. You don't allow it to overwhelm you. It's not the complete focus because it's going to take steps and choices for you to get to it. So we're going to focus on those steps and choices so that we're in a place to where we're doing the things that we need to do to get there, and we're not so overwhelmed by this big transformation that we feel like we'll never get there. It can't be done. We've just broken it down into the steps and the choices that we need to make so that we put that one foot in front of the other. We make those good, wise decisions. So when I wake up a week from now, I'm not here. I'm not in the exact same place that I was. I've made some progress. It may be small progress, but those those little choices add up and push you towards where it is you're trying to go. And that's really what it's all about: steps and choices and steps. Getting clear about the goal, where you're trying to get to, and then using that not as something that's overwhelming, but as your measuring stick. So if I come to you and I ask you to do something, it may seem small. It may not seem like a big deal for this little ask. So you're thinking, I'll say yes. And then someone else asks you to do a small thing. Then you've got this little thing over here that you wanted to get done. And before you know it, all these small things have taken up so much of your time. And none of those things are pushing you towards the goal that you have in mind. So your goal is your measuring stick. It allows you to give those good yeses, and it also allows you to give good, clean no's. It doesn't support what I'm trying to accomplish, so I'm not going to be able to do that. Or just no, period. I tell people all the time, no is a complete sentence. If you choose to provide explanation beyond that, it's a choice, but your no is a complete sentence. You said no. You've made a decision, and that's when people have a tendency to get really busy trying to convince you otherwise. But we have to stand by our yeses and we have to stand by our nos. And then our community, the people around us, will begin to understand that we say what we mean and we mean what we say. They'll take our responses for what they are, and they won't work so hard to undermine what it is we're trying to accomplish, because they don't intend to. All they see is this little thing that they're asking you to do. They don't realize how that little thing can really be get in the way of where it is you're trying to go, and that's your focus. And you deserve to focus on the outcome of this precious life that's been gifted to you. We only get this one on this side. And while we're here, if we don't make some good choices and if we don't make steps towards developing the life that we want, who's going to do it? When is it going to happen? Everyone else has their own agenda. They have the life that they're trying to live, and maybe they see how you can contribute to that. So they're asking you for that one small thing. They don't mean any harm, but they've got their goal in mind, not yours. And so what you're looking for is alignment. Are the things that I'm doing, the choices that I'm making, the steps that I'm taking, are they aligning with the goals that I have set for myself? If that alignment's not there, allow that to be an easy no. Just step away, say no gently. No, I'm not going to be able to do that. And get back to the plans that you have for your life. I'm not talking about being selfish. I'm not talking about just automatically no and only thinking about yourself. I realize we are all a part of a community. We have family, we have friends, we have work obligations. We have so many different roles that we play, so many different hats that we wear. And because of that, our time is divided over and over and over again, which makes it just that much more precious. So if you really want the transformation that you're talking about, the transformation that you're dreaming of, it starts by controlling each of your choices and each of the steps. We're not going to be 100% all the time. Sometimes we're just going to drop it and do something that's counterintuitive, that doesn't really align. It's okay. When you find yourself there, think back on that goal again. Realize that you're out of alignment with what it is you're saying that you want and where it is you're trying to go, and make the necessary adjustments. Don't beat yourself up. Don't spend energy going, I wish I would have, I should have, could have. It's wasted energy. Your energy is best spent focused on and doing the things that's going to get you to the end goal. So when you find yourself off task, the fact that you realize that is a gift in that moment. You've gathered yourself again, you've tapped back in and realized that the thing that you're doing, whatever that is not in alignment with your goal. So you just make a different choice. You take a different step. You get back on the path that you're charting for yourself so that wherever you are at that point gets you back to moving towards your goals. So that's how transformation works. One choice at a time, one step at a time, with the end goal in mind, but not the end goal as the overwhelming thing that just shuts you down, makes you so exhausted, freaks you out. You just can't see how that's ever going to happen. It will, but it starts with right now. It starts with the choices that you make right now. It starts with the steps that you're going to take next. And if you remember that, that big goal becomes much smaller. You bite it down, you break it down into bite-sized pieces, and you just chew it up piece by piece by piece. And before you know it, you've eaten the whole pie. And you're right there where it is you were trying to go. Goal accomplished. You're ready to figure out what's next for yourself. So that is it today, guys. Transformation Tuesday. I wish you the best of today. I hope you are keyed in, focused on what it is that you desire, so that each choice that you make, each step that you take will move you closer to the goals that you have. For those of you watching from the different social media platforms, I think you see a photo of a caterpillar transforming until it becomes a butterfly. Ultimate transformation. It looks and feels and acts one way, And all this stuff is happening underneath the surface. All these things are happening within that cocoon, and all that energy that's being stirred up is what breaks open that cocoon and starts the next step in the transformation until it gets to a butterfly. A butterfly doesn't just wake up this big, beautiful, winged, flying thing that we see. It has a tremendous transformation to go to. Could you imagine if that thing was life came into that being and it was so frustrated because it couldn't see how it was going to become a butterfly? Well, fortunately, nature doesn't work like that. That's what, because we're thinking beings, that's us who gets, stuffed and stifled by thoughts like that. When it's a cocoon, it's just a cocoon, allowing what happens in its cocoon state to happen. And then it goes into its larva state and it keeps going until the day happens and it becomes the beautiful butterfly that we see. And that's what's happening with us. While we're in the cocoon, we go in and out of cocoons all the time, because every time you have a new big goal for yourself, every time you're ready for this next transformation, the transformation itself, that goal becomes a cocoon of its own. And all the things that you're doing around, all the energy, all the places where you're applying your attention and your resources are either prolonging the length of time that you're going to stay in that cocoon state, or you're taking the steps and choices that prepare you to break out of that cocoon state and into the next phase of your transformation. So just think about your transformations as little cocoon states and you're working and applying good choices and steps that's going to keep moving you along that evolutionary process until you awaken, transformed into the butterfly, which is your end goal. You're a butterfly in and of itself, but you have little goals and butterfly situations that are ready to come forth because of the transformations and the goals that you've got set for yourself. So take that picture with you. And as you're thinking about whatever it is you're going to do with the precious resources of time, just ask yourself, is it going to move me out of this cocoon, or is it going to keep me in there just that much longer? And there you go again with easy yeses and easy nos. So that is it for the day. I know I said it before, but this time I promise. I am Cassandra Terry, your manifesting miracle maker, wishing you guys a wonderful Transformation Tuesday filled with great choices and strong steps to propel you towards the goals that you have for yourself. I don't know if I've added it this time, but I do have a goal setting workbook. I think it's less than $15, guys. So it's a very small investment, but it gives you the steps that you need to go through to set good goals. And it gives you plenty of places to set the big ones and then break them down all the way to daily tasks. So you can download that from my site. If you're looking for it, just reach out to me and I'd be happy to share it with you. I'll try to remember to put it in the comments if it's not already there. But feel free to DM me or reach out, and I can give you the link as well. Download that goal setting workbook, and it will help you make good decisions, document what those decisions are, and then track your progress to your goals. All right. Happy Tuesday, everyone. I will see you tomorrow for Wake Up Wednesday. Have a great day.